there's a teacher, white teacher, under investigation for using allegedly a racial slur. Here it is.
We're interracial best friends. When the cops show up, I feel safe with him.
We're interracial best friends. When he calls me his nick, I feel so alive.
We're interracial best friends. Of course I taught him how to season chicken.
We're interracial best friends. Of course I taught him how to balance his checkbook.
We're interracial best friends. Whenever we perform in Paris at karaoke, he always does the nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative part.
We're interracial best friends. Of course my family owned his family.
We're interracial best friends. Raindrop.
Where? What?
Dude, it's drop top, bad and bullshit.
We're interracial best friends. Whenever we go shopping, I know they're not looking at me.
We're interracial best friends. Of course we get into the shrimping business.
We're interracial best friends. Maybe one day we'll all wear the number 42.
Put up the picture full mask. Yeah, interesting story here. Georgia. A Georgia school teacher thought this was a great idea. Now is at the center of an investigation due to saying the N-word on a TikTok video, as you just saw. WSB-TV reported that the unnamed Indian Creek Elementary School second grade educator participated in this viral, of course, video. It is trending. It is meant to mock. Now, I want you to understand the attempted lesson. It is meant to mock stereotypes, okay? That's what it is trying to do. The video skit was part of TikToker's Derek DiCaprio page. He does a series like this. It's a skit series on the subject of race, all right? Including this one.
We're black guys who date white girls. Of course her father calls me boy.
We're black guys that date white girls. Of course I lost everything in the divorce.
We're black guys who date white girls. Of course I'm a D1 athlete.
We're black guys that date white girls. Of course I let her say the N-word when we're at home.
We're black guys who date white girls. Of course I refer to it as the N-word.
We're black guys that date white girls. Of course I need someone to obey me.
We're black guys who date white girls. I've been to Bonnaroo at least a dozen times.
We're black guys that date white girls. My breath, no matter what, stinks.
We're black guys who date white girls. Of course I got fired as Kang the Conqueror in the MCU.
We're black guys that date white girls. Of course she tells her friends it's big.
We're black guys who date white girls. I've been called everything from sellout to Uncle Ruckus to coon. But what I've never been called is attractive.
Put it up full mask. All right, so here's the thing, y'all. All right, let's put the teacher back up, okay? To the school teacher. Let's put the school teacher up. To the school teacher, sir, you know good and damn well that government check comes with responsibilities, okay? You're a school teacher. And you are a school teacher of children, like second grade. Saying the N-word on video, sir, was not a wise idea. So now what has happened? Reaction? Parents were not too fond of the video. The Georgia NAACP president, a dear friend of mine, attorney Gerald Griggs, told the local news station that it was offensive and condemned the use of the racial slur, unprofessional, unbecoming of a teacher. Quote, at no point should the N-word be used in any form or fashion by anyone, let alone a teacher in any capacity. It's not a word that should be used, period. It's a word that brings up so many emotions, so many negative connotations, Attorney Griggs said. It's concerning that in the climate that we're in right now, people feel comfortable using that type of language. There's no excuse for it. Atlanta Black Star reached out to the DeKalb County School District for comment, but in a statement to WSB-TV, officials said an investigation is ongoing. Quote, the school administration and district are investigating a social media posting made by an employee of Indian Creek Elementary School that includes offensive statements made by the employee, the district said. The district and Indian Creek Elementary School expect all employees to be positive role models for our children and will respond appropriately whenever that expectation is not met. And generally, they will not give you any update as to what will happen as far as discipline. But this is not one of those, let's celebrate the school teacher moment. It was a lesson that was landed improperly, in my opinion. Francesca, thoughts?
I mean, they are attempting comedy. So I just want to put that out. And I also want to clarify, I don't get it, and I'm a stand-up. Like, I think some of the lines are funny. I think others of them are absolutely not funny. I don't know if they're poking fun at stereotypes or playing into them. It sort of rides the line. And obviously I think a lot of it's not my place to really, sort of weigh in on, but look, if or whether or not it's comedy, don't say the N-word. Just don't do it. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
Don't say it. You can if you're not, I guess, and you're trying to make a point, a joke, I guess. But even then, like, just don't. And not on TikTok, not on social media. Don't get roped into someone else's sketch who's got a lot of followers. Let this be a lesson to everyone, not just teachers.
There you go. All right. Well said.